Alright, this time the Quick Speed Shop. Check it out. I've got my 1937 Ford out of long-term storage. This thing is a pretty much mostly original car. It's been repainted once. It's got original interior in it. It's a 60 horsepower car with a baby little flathead, but that's super tired. I've got a rebuilt 85 horse to put in it. So we're going to do an engine swap, a transmission swap, a rear end swap, all with original Ford parts. Make this thing into like a 40s cruiser. And the first step is digging it out of the hole that I had it in. So if you want to follow along, I'm going to show you what's going on. Bam, right now. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. Why is everything a disaster? Oh, hey there! What's going on? Welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. I'm here in the shop. As you can see, I'm in the middle of Rearranging. I'm watching Daytona 500. This video is filmed a couple weeks ago, but the 500 is starting in a couple minutes. Just did the national anthem. What I'm doing today is I pushed the van outside, the buggy van. I didn't push it, I drove it outside. It's running and driving. We're going to not work on that van till springtime so I can work on the interior now that I got all the mechanicals and the stuff put together on that. Today we're cleaning the shop out and we're going to get my 37 Ford and try to move it over here, and that's going to be the rest of the winter project, is working on my 37 Ford, doing an engine swap, a transmission swap, a rear end swap, tail dragging it, and skirts, making like a 40s tail dragger custom. So that's what I'm working on. I've got an 8-inch Ford rear end here that I was just cleaning up a little bit. That came out of the 40 Mercury from last year. I got my KR Wilson power plant unit here with this 24 stud flathead. I believe it's a 221. That's going to go on the other side, and we'll go over there. I'll show you. I pretty much hoarded myself out back here and hoarded myself out over there. So I'm going to clean this up. I got multiple engines in here everywhere. Flatheads pretty much. F-head, Jeep motor, flathead Model A, 40 Ford 6-cylinder flathead. Got a secret engine under there for a future project. Got this flathead. I got 3 flatheads over there. I got another 8VA flathead display motor down here. So what I want to do is get all these engines and all this junk out of here and store it on the other side where the 37 Ford is. And then move this workstation over to here and try to make myself a little bit bigger area to work in. It's not like, you know, you've seen all my videos, I work like in about 1 foot of clearance to spare. Take this sheet metal brake, do something with that, store the welder next door probably. Just try to open this area up so I can bring the car in here and have some more room to work, or I can get the doors open. I can do a bunch of stuff without being a complete disaster. And that van was in here, that was pretty big, and I had to work on it like shuffling through the whole time. So that's what I'm working on. Let's go next door, we'll check out the Ford. I'll show you how that's hoarded into a hole, and getting ready to get that out and go from there. So bam, moving a bunch of junk here today at the Quick Speed Shop. Oh, racing's back on. Hold on a minute, that's a commercial. I'm getting ready for the race. All right, here I am over here. Here's a 37 Ford. You can see it's piled with crap. Got my Model A hot rod shop truck just kind of wadded in here. And just like the other side, I've kind of like hoarded myself into a corner where I've been storing this car for multiple years. I think I bought it in 2011 maybe. And I've driven about 20 miles because I had a whole host of mechanical issues. So we're dragging this out. We're going old school for the foreseeable future, working on this 37 Ford. And we'll take a look at it once I get it out of here. But it's up on stands. It's got brand new tires on it that I didn't want to get flat spotted. So it's been up on jack stands for several years now. I'm going to set it down, get the cover off it. I got to pull the Model A truck outside. I got a couple other things in the way. And then I doubt it's even going to start. The battery, I haven't run it in a few years. So I'm probably just going to push it outside. It pushes fairly decent. The snow has melted down enough where I think I can push it around. But first off, we're going to roll it down, get it over here, and then I can move all those engines through that man door in here. And I'm going to eventually build a 2-story steel rack where I can stack all my engines up, make some permanent mounts to stack them nicely, stack them all up in here, get all my engines, use this back area instead of storing a car in front of the door, which is a real pain. Just make that an engine storage area where I can have all my engines stored in one spot, kind of like double stacked out of the way. So I'm going to fire this truck up, pull this outside, and then we'll get the jack out, unbury this thing, set it down, and roll the head. Alright, here we go. What did I buy these for? On my Ford truck, that's right. I don't know why they're not well the other wiper area. So here's my problem. I stack everything on top of everything else. If you watch the video where Jordan and I cut out the gas station letters, the gas station sign, they're right here. I haven't made the sign yet, but here's the letters. Apparently stacking them on the fender of the car was a good spot. Stuff in here. Here's my spare tire cover I was going to use in my buggy van, but it was on a spare that blew apart, and it freaking blew my spare tire cover apart. But I found this in the junkyard. Brown sugar. Somebody rattle canned that on with a rattle can thing of a van there. It's super cool. Let's see if I can get this sewn back together. Kind of blew right out of the top bad. Ruined my brown sugar cover. Dang it. Probably become a wall hanger now. Here's the trim rings for the Ford here. These in the car. More Mercury interior trunk parts. These are probably all junk now, I'd imagine. Don't need these. Where am I going to put this stuff? Oh, I got a for sale sign. Nothing's for sale. Nothing's for sale. I don't know why I got this. Nothing's for sale. What's this? I believe these are old Ford tools here. Yeah, a whole, so crunchy. Whole packet of mostly Ford script tools. That one's not, but a lot of these are Ford script tools, I think. Oh, here. Got a Ford emblem, a couple other things. Floor mats out of my van when I junked my old white van. Good place for them, I guess. Right there. Oh, more floor mats. Must be where I store all the floor mats is on this car. An old box. It's cool. Miscellaneous transmission filter. Oh, there's brake lights. What is this? Oh, this is stuff from my the yellow Buick. Oh. The old headliner out of the hot rod shop truck I had in there when I had the original roof in there. It's white vinyl. I made it on top of a piece of like foam board. Hardcore foam board. I probably don't even need this anymore since it doesn't fit. Alright. Here we go. Ta-da! So here it is. This is my 1937 Ford Tudor Sedan. It's a 60 horsepower car, which is the baby Flathead that Ford made from 37 to 40. This car is 98% rust free. It's been painted once with a probably lacquer paint job. The paint's presentable, but it's got a lot of flaws in it. One of these fenders has been replaced. I think this one, it's washed in blue underneath, but this car is originally black. Being a 60 horsepower car, it's a standard car. One tail light, blacked out trim, black grille. You know, it's only got, well, actually I don't think it's got any mirrors on it, but it would have had one mirror, one wiper. The deluxe cars, 85 horsepower cars that were deluxe, would have had a chrome trim around here, two tail lights, a bunch of other stuff. So this is a standard car, and it's pretty. It's got the original interior in it, and it's pretty much an example of lightly restored, pretty much barn find car. I bought it at Hershey 2011, I believe, in a rainstorm, and it had come out of a barn in New Jersey. I'm sorry, not New Jersey. Come out of a barn in Delaware. It had been in that barn since 1974. So this car has only driven about 20 miles since 1974. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get it going and drive it some more this year. So a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago now, I put an electric fuel pump on it. I did a couple videos on that, had it running around, but I had some issues with the water pumps leaking and misfiring, and the engine is really tired, almost no oil pressure. This car only does, it's a 60 horsepower car, which means it has a 444 rear end gear, and it tops out about 50 miles an hour, which is just makes it a backroads car. So when we do the build, we're going to swap things over, make it go a little bit faster. Hopefully it'll do like 60, and I'll be able to drive it and have fun with a pretty much original car. So now that I've uncovered it, oh, I got more junk down here. I got random intake manifolds, a Ford, 2 Chevys, a whole box of 32 to 35 Ford caps, and some other junk under here. Open up the hood on your 37 Ford. You turn the hood emblem. Hood opens this way. It goes up in a catch and it sets down. You never want to pull down on a 37 hood. They always get bent here, because to make it go down, you go up and then down with the hood to close it, and then it latches like that. So, oh boy, I see a lot of corrosion on the battery, which should be loose, but it looks like it has puked a bunch of fluid out for some reason out of the one cell. Probably means it's no good. I put a new carburetor on this a few years ago. Let me bump you up so we can see. I put an open air element air cleaner on this just to make it easier to work with. It has an oil bath original, which I have in the back. This just kind of slips on here and it comes off. Got Edmunds in here with a paper element. It's got a Repop 97 carburetor on it. But here's the tiny little 60 horsepower down in there. I'll get some more light on it eventually, but you can see it's still 6 volt positive ground. I'm going to guess this battery's probably become no good sitting here all these years. But here is the little engine that could. It's going to come out, and we're going to put 85 horse on all factory parts. I've got the 85 horsepower radiator, 85 horsepower engine and all that, so I can swap this car over to an 85 horse and make it more drivable. Okay, here we go. I got the car off the stands and pushed ahead. I'm out of the way here. See my storage set up here. I've got these little real thin rubber mats that I've kept between the car and the concrete. Just try to keep any moisture down. You can see the effervescence. You got moisture coming out of the concrete and the chemicals that are in the concrete there. So the concrete does sweat a little bit, or give out moisture. So I put the rubber down underneath the car to help keep it off the bottom of the car. But I've pushed it ahead. Now we can see my disaster I've got going here. I've got engines. I got a Flathead here, 351 out of my old truck, a 318 Model A motor out of my coupe originally. I got a V8-60 here. This is what we're pulling out. This little Flathead. This is a 38 or 39 Ironside one, but this is what we're taking out. A 60 horsepower Ford Flathead V8, which is super tiny. I got to dig this engine out here. This is the Magnum 5.9 liter. I'm going to be putting in my 80 Dodge this summer. I'm going to dig this out and bring it over to the other side so I can put that on a stand while I'm working on the 37. This engine back here, the green one, this is a Polysphere wide block 318. It's the original engine that was in my Studebaker truck back in the day. Came out of a 66 Plymouth Fury sedan. That was my great-grandmother's car. It's got about 75,000 miles on it, and it's there. I'm going to spin that around so I can crank the crank over on it, make sure it's not getting stuck because it's been sitting here for quite a while. Pull that out. Got miscellaneous parts up here, a bunch of radiators, Model A coupe door, Studebaker fenders, some steering columns, miscellaneous parts. So I built the shelf to when I had my Model A hot rod shop truck apart. The cab and the box were sitting on here, up out of the way. And I'm going to leave that there, but I want to put my big piece of racking right in the center here, some, pallet racking. And I want to be able to double stack my engines in here. Maybe hook up a chain fall, and so I can sling them up on and just use this for engine storage. I'll leave an aisleway down both sides to be able to get things out and get to the shelves. I'm a disaster at storing things rationally, and they just kind of get thrown everywhere, so I need to organize. Oh, look at this. Porcelain light. This is going on my gas station. I've got some porcelain lights scattered here and there, but that'll be under the overhang or in the office or somewhere, so that'd be cool. And yeah, you just got things hoarded on out here. What's in the trunk? Junk in the trunk. I got some tools in that old suitcase. The thing's got a boat tank, and that's original wood and spare tire holder and all that in the back of the car. So that's cool. There we go. Got my AAA badge on here. How did I get crooked? There we go. Nice AAA badge up on there. Like I said, this car is standard, so you get the one tail light only on the driver's side. No turn signals, just brake and tail on the driver's side. A deluxe car would have had dual tail lights. And got the original bumper here with chrome that's kind of rough. I got to fix the bumper guard on that side. I think the irons are also twisted. The bumper looks like it's crooked. But this car is not too bad. It's amateur restoration. They painted over the old window rubber here. You can see that's pretty nasty. But the car is very, very, very rust-free. And it's loaded up full of parts. It's registered again, so we can drive it. Got the original back seat. Original seat here. There's a cover on here because the seat's torn a lot. Original door panels. I'm going to try to get some of the dirt out of them where there's water staining. I'm trying to clean them up. The headliners was pulled out before I got it, but these are the original seats, original upholstery in here from 1937. They're in okay shape. I'm hoping to be able to clean all that up in there. Like I said, that's pretty nasty. I've got the standard car, got the stock wheel. I added a radio head in the dash a couple years ago. I've got a cigarette dispenser in here. Oh, with a cigarette. Nice. Perfect. In there, I've got a electric brake controller. Just some crap I hung up on the column. So, look at that. Bam, I got a new fog light for the front end. And we're going to get this car going. It's going to be fun to cruise around in the thing. Hopefully get it going here sooner rather than later. So I pulled it out. I'm probably not going to get it switched over to the other side today. I'm going to pull the head some more, and then I'm going to shuffle all those engines through the walk-through door there. Get them out of the way first. But you can see the car is down on the ground. I did put brand new tires on it. It's got 616 Firestones. They're brand new. They got like 5 miles on them. And I put them on probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago with brand new tubes. And I had the wheels sandblasted and painted, so they've got brand new tubes and the wheels are painted nice. And I've replaced the front bumper with a nice used one that had the rusty bumper on it when I got it. So it's cloudy right now because it's got fluid film on it for the chrome, but it'll shine up nice. I got a 37 plate hung on there. And yeah, the car's just super dusty. It's a good 10-footer. It looks presentable going down the road. Just the paint's rough up front. But a nice original condition car that's had very little done to it. Just non-original engine and one repaint, pretty much all it's been done to it. And I'm putting engines away here. I'm getting them ready for storage. I'm going to throw a little oil in them. I got this Ford engine. It's a 40 Ford truck, 6-cylinder, Flathead 6 with a truck transmission on it. And spraying, watch this. I got water in there, I'm going to pop this head off right quick. And we're going to take a look and see, oh my god, I sprayed it all over everything. It's on the ceiling. Ay, ay, ay. You have to pop this head off here right quick. Take a look. Finally got all the nuts off. I sprayed the head down with some goo. I don't know how hard this can be on here. I figure give it a whack with a wooden block here and see if that helps free it up. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be stuck on there pretty good. Who knows? Who knows? Because that's a lot of studs that are on there, and there's not really too many places to pry. Of course, you don't want to hit the head, obviously, with a hammer because it's cast iron. Well, I didn't give up tapping and reaching. I used some brass drifts, and I drifted on the very edges of the head, and I like tapped on the sensor and on the bolts, and I've got the head. It's coming off now. I've got it lifted up and kind of propped up on some pry bars and screwdrivers here. So we should be able to get it off right now. It's coming off now. Here we go. I can do it without crashing my fingers. Coming off. It's coming off. I bet this thing weighs a freaking ton. We're almost there. Almost there. It's like Star Wars. Almost there. Almost there. Come on now. Aha! Oh! I see. Ah. Yeah, look at that. Definitely was water in there. What a disaster. Oh, look at that. Turns over at least. Oh, what's that noise? What a disaster. So, this engine obviously is in need of a total rebuild. I don't know if it's got any cracks in it. Looks like all that rust in the water jackets might just have straight water in the cooling system. Who knows what the deal is, but at least I got the water out of the cylinders. I'm just going to oil the thing back up and slap the head back on it and just push it under the bench back in there. It's just, I bought this engine for my buddy who had it out of a truck and for $100 just to have it. It's a 40 Ford truck, 6-cylinder, but as you can see, it's definitely in need of a full rebuild. So I'm just going to, like I said, I'll oil these cylinders up, I'll wipe them out real good, then I'll just spray them, or I'll put oil in them, heavy oil in them, and just let it soak, and then just put the head back on it and let it sit here in storage full of oil. And then if I ever do anything, obviously it would have to come totally apart and get hot tanked and boiled out, look for cracks and all that. So at least I can save the cylinder walls from getting ruined by that water. That would have been that obviously would have ruined the cylinders if it sat with the water in it like that. I was cleaning the head off. Check this out. The head is cracked on the coolant passages. At least that one's cracked. That one's cracked all the way to the coolant hole here, or the stud hole. But through the coolant passage, you can see the crack in there. This one's cracked all the way to the head, all the way to the coolant passage outside here. So I don't know. I'm not familiar with the 6-cylinder Fords that much, the flatheads, but that either froze and cracked because of the just water being in it, or they crack here, they get hot and they crack here. I'm not sure, but this head is in need of serious repair. You could probably pin the big cracks, I would guess, but it goes all the way through, and most likely this head is junk. But I'll just throw it back on. I put some automatic transmission oil in all the cylinders, and I sprayed the whole deck surface down with some thrust oil just to keep the moisture down at bay. So I'm just going to throw the head back on it and wheel it in there and put it in the derelict and junk engine pile. Let's take a look at this other one. This is the F-head motor out of one of my Army Jeeps out back. This thing in the junkyard sat full of water for years. Look at the intake, completely full of rust right down into the engine. I'm going to guess that this engine is completely junk. I'm not even going to bother storing it inside anymore. I think I'm just going to roll it outside and cover it up. And then in the spring, I'm going to strip the accessories, the fuel pump and the manifolds and all the oil, the 24-volt generator. I'm going to strip it down, the lifting piece, and then junk the block. I'll save the bell housing and stuff, but I'm sure that thing, it sat out with the carburetor had rusted right through the butterfly valve, so I'm sure this thing is completely garbage. So I'm gonna junk that. Well, I gotta put stuff away for the night. It's getting dark, getting cold out again. Got the Model A hot rod shop truck just here, parked in the shop, just temporarily getting out of the way. Let me turn around and show you how I made out over here. Over here on the working side, I made a real big dent. I got some things I gotta put away. The garbage bag, that engine's the Jeep engine that's going outside. The seat's gotta go up in the attic. I got the rear end out of the way. I moved over my my grinder slash sheet metal station out of the way. I got the welder out of here. I'm going to pull the sheet metal brake and put that on the other side. Clean up some of this nonsense. I've got some exhaust pipes over here, and open this up right back to the shelf. Got a bin of scrap to throw out, and then got some things over here, some clutter, the van grills, all that's going to go up in my attic. But I've really opened this area up. I'm going to bring the 37 Ford in here. I'll be able to, since I got to change the rear end and pull out from underneath the car, I'm going to nose the car in probably to about here to work on the engine. That'll give me enough room to get the cherry picker in and out of the front. Give me room to take the front clip off if I have to. Then this will all be opened up, so there'll be plenty of room to get the doors open, work around, get the thing up in the air, and you know, getting all these engines out of here, make good progress. This is the Dodge Magnum motor that's going in my 80 Dodge truck project. I'm going to start later in the spring. I just brought that in here because it was out of the way and I wanted to spin it over. It was stuck just a hair with a ridge, but I got it with a hand ratchet. I got some oil in the cylinders now. This is a 5.9 liter Magnum motor. I'm going to be converting it back to carburetor and stuff, so I got to tear this down. I'll get it up on an engine stand, get it up off the cart out of the way. But pretty much, there's 3 more flatheads over here in the corner. They're going to stay for now until I get my rack figured out in there. They can stay under that bench. But I'd like to clean the rest of this up and get a bigger working area. But it feels a lot bigger now. I was working before in between the workbench and the cabinet over here. Like on the van, I couldn't barely get the doors open and stuff. Now that I can get back up into this bigger area, this will give me some more room to work. It's just, I got way too much junk stuffed everywhere. It's ridiculous. Next time, I'm going to be getting that Ford. Hopefully the snow will melt in the driveway so I can pull it out, push it out, turn it around, and then pull it up in here. And we'll be starting to disassemble on that. I've still got to go down to the pull barn and get the engine out and get that up here somehow. There's still snow and ice on the ground. But in the meantime, I can be disassembling the car. We'll take a look. We'll get it all disassembled in here first. So I got time before I need the engine in here. Oh, I put that big Flathead power unit that's over next there too. So everything's over where the Ford was, put away, and it's giving me a lot more space to work here when I just tidy the rest of this up. So, bam, cleaning crap up in the shop and get some more space to work in here. So next time, we'll work on that 37 Ford. In the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you again right here at the Quick Speed Shop. Bam.